A story about how I moved a tow truck 25 miles using only my index finger. I was stranded with a flat tire. I opened the Geico app. Then, with a few taps of my finger, I beckoned emergency roadside assistance and a tow truck to my car. I invite you all to unleash the full potential of your fingertips with the Geico app. Thank you.
Welcome to yet another great edition of Younger Life Live. Woo! I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony.
Happy Friday, Mary Anthony.
I know, it's an awesome Friday. You know, a little dreary out, but who cares? It's gorgeous. I love it.
I'll tell you, I know you like I love the gentle breeze.
Oh, I
Mid
know.
50s, 60s, 70s,
That's
that
it.
atmosphere.
I love
don't
it.
care about the gloom. I always have a positive energy
Yeah.
going. And when you got a guy like Sanders as your executive producer who's just free-forming it and being spaz boy before, during, and after the show, it makes you kind of smile. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. It's a great way to go into the weekend. Good day.
Absolutely. All right. So today we got a great show lined up as we head into the weekend. We're inside of a season. We're edging up on fall, and especially Midwest and around the country,
Right.
flu season.
Right. And we're going to be speaking to the health department today, which is really exciting, actually. You know, we just started fall. So I have a lot of questions around flu shots in general. When does flu season actually begin? And, you know, who should be getting vaccinated? And
Can I
you know,
throw in a
what's the-
spin there too?
Yeah.
For a lot of folks out there that swear by the I'm not getting a flu shot. I'm going to play both sides of this one.
Right.
I'm going to be very honest and open because I want this to be a show that we could be all open about.
Oh, that's us.
You know, what are the myths too?
Yeah.
Are there
There's so many myths
And there
around it.
are.
That's why I'm really excited that we're going to have them join us. So that'll be great. They're going to be calling in. They're not actually coming in because they're super busy right now. It was funny when I was speaking to them about the show in general. They said, well, it is a very busy time for us. And I said, I understand.
Get out of here. Really?
I know how swamped they always are. So I said, if you can just at least join us on the phone, we really appreciate it. So that's
All right.
what we're going to do.
So the Younger Life Live show, of course, our production here with Sanders as executive producer, brought to you by the wonderful LaPorte Hospital. Don't forget, on October 7th, the LaPorte High School Choral Group will be performing inside of the chapel.
First Friday, right?
And it's going to be great. Yeah, it's going to be wonderful.
They always do such a
Mary
good
and I
job.
love that. Yeah.
It's beautiful. You know, it really is really pretty in that chapel too. And they do so many great things in there. But
Okay.
that First Friday's been very popular. A lot of people
Love
love
it.
to go, and it's really
Yeah.
neat.
So Joan from Roxy Music chimed in on the radio side of our television broadcast this morning on WIMS, our radio partner, AM 1420 and WIMS radio. And every time she's on there, she talks about all the great musicians that hang out there because also they feed in a bunch of musicians that go to the hospital at LaPorte Hospital and help out. Well, you know,
They're
several
awesome.
years.
Yeah,
So which
they're
is really, really
they're
nice.
fantastic. And you know, last time we spoke with her actually on Younger Life Live, it's been months now, but you know, talking about the actual like documented health benefits to music and not just on a mood level either. So you know, they do such great work.
So who runs up to me last night at the Senior Harvest Ball 2016 fundraiser, completely sold out, raising money for our seniors in the area, wiser folks, the Michigan City Senior Center, LaPorte County's Meals on Wheels, and of course RSVP, but the one and only Sasha G. Burns.
Oh,
She was there.
fabulous.
She says hello.
Oh,
she
she's
was
fantastic.
rocking it, and she shared videos. There are videos of last night. You talk about staying younger longer. There were folks that were in their wiser and golden years, 80 plus. This one young lady dancing with our fellow police officers, our fire folks, and stuff like that. 93 years
That's
young.
awesome.
Just ripping up the floor.
I hope that's me.
One of our videos, I agree with you, I as well, and I know you and I have that energy. One of the cool things I loved is that everybody was getting into it. We have 2 videos up on our radio partner, WIMS AM 1420. So Facebook.com/AM 1420 WIMS. One of them has 22,000 views
Wow.
and another one well into the 10, 12,000 range.
That's incredible.
But you see the police officers and the firefighters and the celebrity dancers and people of all ages, the young at heart and the wisest of years, dancing with all these other folks. And you know these stories. It hits home to us. You know, these folks that may not have partners, those that have lost their significant others, those that have not been out, but they stay active
Yeah.
and they stay young.
Well, even someone may have brought a senior to the ball that maybe necessarily didn't think that they would enjoy it, but find themselves not just enjoying the company, but the music and actually getting up and dancing and stuff. And I think it's a beautiful thing. We were at a volleyball game, but I had wished that I could have gone. I just
Yes.
think it's so neat. It is so it's such a special thing, you know.
Well, we had the Mary Anthony fan club there, so I just wanted to let you know. So we'll talk a little bit more about the Senior Harvest Ball and all these great events happening in and around our area. We are on Younger Life Live, YouTube.com. Rick Federici and Mary Anthony. Today's presentation brought to you by the LaPorte Hospital. Let's go to the Star VIP hotline. Good morning. Welcome to Younger Life Live. And who is this?
This is Jenny Smith from LaPorte County Health Department.
Hi, Jenny. How are you this morning?
I'm good, thanks.
Thank you so much for calling in. How long have you been at the health department?
I have been here for 15 years in a
Wow.
variety of different jobs. I started here 15 years ago as a part-time nurse, and then I moved into a public health nurse position, and then moved into my current role as the nursing supervisor in 2010. So
Wow.
I've been here 15 years in a variety of capacities.
Are you guys busy this time of the year? I know you're busy all the time, but this has got to be a crazy time of the year.
Oh, it's busy. Back to school immunizations, flu season, flu vaccines. So yes, we're very busy.
I think the health department's awesome because there are so many different things always going on there too. You know, you say you've worked in different capacities there. I think there's probably always something to learn there. I mean, it's always changing.
I
think
agree.
it's
Oh,
really
it
neat.
is. Every day you learn something new,
Yeah.
it seems.
How fun. That would be fun.
Yes.
Well, I know we are about a week officially into fall season. So can you tell us, when does the flu season, quote unquote, actually begin?
Well, normally flu season runs from October through March, but the peak season can be variable. It's unpredictable, though, every year. It can vary in different parts of the country, and it can vary from season to season. But we've heard that there are already some cases starting out in the community.
Really?
Yeah, it's not reportable per se, but our hospitals do a good job of letting us know when they start seeing cases. And we've already been told that there are cases out there. So I think it's starting.
How
You know, I want to ask this question too, because I'm seeing this around the area. A lot of coughs, a lot of folks with, the runny eyes and the sneezing. Is that on a side spin, you think, just a part of the changing seasons and then edging up on the flu season? Because we here at Younger Life Live are not doctors, nor do we claim to be doctors. But you know what I'm saying? We're all family. We all have families. We all have sons and daughters, and we're all involved in our community.
Sure. It could be seasonal allergies. It could be the start of influenza season. Unless you're really tested, there's really no way to know exactly what you may have.
That's the time that Rick and I typically point out, call your doctor if you're having a problem.
Yes. Call your doctor and get
That's
some
when we
tests
slide
and get
that in there.
prepared.
So, can you tell us how early? I mean, it seems a little early. If typical flu season's October, I mean, I guess we're right there now. But how early do people start getting the flu vaccine?
The flu vaccine usually comes to us starting in late August.
Oh, okay.
But the CDC recommends that people start getting it as soon as it's available because you never know when flu season's going to start.
I was going to say too, are there symptoms and or are there signs for businesses and or folks that are out there listening that, would show that we may be getting it? Because once you get symptoms for the flu, can you technically get the shot? I mean, can you explain that side of it?
Yes. The flu shot takes up to 2 weeks to start working in your system. So if you're exposed to the flu and it's been less than 2 weeks since you received your vaccination, then it may not protect you fully. If you go to the doctor and it's early on in the course of the infection, you can get put on antivirals, and that will help hopefully lessen the severity of the flu. But they're best when they are started within 48 hours of the symptoms starting. So early on in the course of the flu is the best. Start those.
That makes sense. Can you tell us who is recommended to get the flu shot? I realize that there are actual guidelines on that. So
there are. We recommend everyone get one, obviously, but anyone 6 months of age or older can receive that. But people that have chronic health conditions and young children are more susceptible to the complications of the flu. So those are a good group of people that should receive the vaccine to prevent the flu.
yes.
I had someone just text me and ask me to ask you, and I'm just going to ask all sides of this here on Younger Life Live, brought to you by the LaPorte Hospital. The myths surrounding the shots themselves, are there, because you'll hear people just say, I'd never get a shot, and then there are a lot of us that say, we always get our shots.
Yes.
What would you say to that? You're the pro on this, so I'll just step back. But can you give us a little bit of your education and your insight and knowledge on this?
On why it's important to get one?
Yes,
Is
exactly.
that the question?
Yeah, and then the myths
There's
behind
a lot of
it.
myths. People say,
That think they're going to get the
that's
flu
it.
from the
That's it.
Exactly.
That think they're going to
Okay.
get it.
You slammed it right there.
Okay, there's nothing that is in the vaccine that can cause disease.
Okay.
However, there are side effects from the vaccine that you may get that may make people think that it's the flu, because you can get side effects from the vaccine in some cases, which are sore muscles, a cough, a fever, aches, headache. So you may think that it's the flu when it's actually a side effect of the vaccine.
Can I ask you, Jenny?
The actual flu lasts 2 weeks normally.
Oh, wow.
So the side effects of the vaccine last 1 to 2 days.
That was my question. How long will those side effects last?
1 to 2 days.
Okay, so that way
Typically.
yeah, someone will be able to really determine then it is just side effects and it
Yes.
will pass. So
Yes.
that's good. How long has how many years ago did the flu vaccine get actually released for public use?
I believe, I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe sometime in the 1940s.
Oh, wow, that
But
many
the
years.
vaccine's a lot better now than it was then.
Certainly.
Yes.
That brings up another good question. What happens, you hear also along with, this isn't really myth, but that the flu strain can change throughout the season. How do we deal with that? So if you get a new vaccine in, is it recommended for someone to get a second flu shot in the middle of the season?
Great question.
Okay, well, they do not change the flu vaccine once it's made.
Oh, they do
so
not,
once
okay.
it's made, it's not changed until the next year. So once it's formulated, they don't make any changes to the vaccine. But you're right, circulating flu viruses can change throughout the season. But a less than ideal match may still protect against some of the viruses, make it less severe. But you may still end up with the flu if it does not match the strain that's in the vaccine.
I see.
But
That-
hopefully it's a milder case.
That makes sense. And I like that you point out that it is only formulated once a year. That is another myth that's often circulated that I hear that
Right.
if another kind is coming out. So okay, that
I
clears
just
that
had
up. That's good.
I just had a young lady ask me to ask you if this year there's anything that would be like one up from years past. So is there anything that's going to be wicked with the flu this year? Is there a new quote unquote, for lack of a better word, strain of flu that we should be on the lookout for? Because a lot of us get educated and we find out information through great organizations like yourself. So is there is there anything out there this year that we should be aware of, or not really yet?
Not really yet that I know of.
Okay.
What are indicators for the health department to say this is going to be a bad flu season or not?
If we start seeing a lot of courtesy reports coming out of the hospitals,
Okay.
like I said, both of our hospitals are great about keeping us informed of when they start seeing cases and how many. And last year, it came a little later in the season. We started seeing cases, but it was page after page of reports. So then we know that there's something going on.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have any idea, Jenny, how many people die in our country every year from flu-related illness?
They don't really track that because
don't.
the flu is not reportable. However, it is reportable when someone passes away. But there's still not a very good way to track that because lack of testing, the way they code the death certificates.
Oh, okay.
And influenza-associated deaths are often from a complication of an underlying medical problem. So it could be from pneumonia.
Yes.
Because of their they have poor lung health, or it's usually a complication of an underlying medical problem. So flu per se may not be what made them pass away. It might have been another infection.
That's
brought on
excellent
by
information.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's great information.
Can you tell us the difference between like influenza A and B? I know that, there had been all kinds of issues with that a few years ago. Can you tell
Yes.
us what the difference is?
Usually, influenza A is more of a severe case of influenza, and B is not so severe. In the flu vaccine, there are two types of flu vaccine. There's a trivalent, which has 3 strains, and a quadrivalent, which has 4 strains. And what we use at the health department is a quadrivalent, which is a 4-strain flu vaccine. And that will have 2 A strains and 2 B strains.
Wow.
So usually B is less severe, and A is more severe.
Do they still have the same symptoms? I mean, are we still talking aches, fevers, vomiting, or diarrhea? I mean, are they both still the same, or is that only one type?
Usually it's pretty much the same, only B is not as severe.
Okay.
It may not last as long. It may not be as severe of an illness.
Okay.
I have a couple people chiming in one after the other. First off, could you ask what is the difference between flu shots? Heard there is a 5 and 1. I don't know what that means, but I'm throwing that out there because these are instant text questions
I have
to us.
not heard of 5 and 1.
Okay, so that's one.
But
go ahead.
I was going to say is the quad one she spoke
It's
of. That's
4.
4 and
It's
1.
4
maybe.
strain, yeah.
4 strain,
That's,
okay.
Right.
that's the most I've ever heard of is a quadrivalent. That's what we use here at the health department.
I also have someone ask me, great interview. Can you please ask if there are free shots available in LaPorte County cannot afford?
Free shots. I'm not sure. I know ours are $20, and we don't make a profit. That's pretty much what we're paying for it. But I'm not sure of any other than maybe the community health centers or
Sure.
HealthLink. Maybe try them.
Well, that's great stuff because if we could get them from you for $20, I would go with you guys. Let me ask you, when do you guys do that? Because I just would like to get that out there while people are asking.
Sure. We will start doing them for the public starting October 11th. And they may make an appointment by calling the health department. And like I said, it's $20 cash. And they can call 219-326-6808, extension 2200, and make an appointment to come in. And that is after October 11th.
Okay. Can you give us some, I've heard a little bit of reports on the difference between the vaccine and the mist. Is it true that the mist is no longer recommended?
The mist is no longer recommended this year for kids because
For
they
kids.
found that last year it was only 3% effective.
Really? Because I know
Yes.
most kids would rather that than a shot.
Me too.
yes.
I think most adults too.
I know, I hate
hate to
needles,
be
but
that way.
Still, so is the mist still available then for adults, or is the mist just kind of out of it
Well,
altogether?
mist is unavailable this year for kids because of concerns about its effectiveness, obviously. If it's only
Right.
3% effective, that's not effective enough. And we are not offering it this year for adults.
Okay.
I'm not sure about other agencies if they are, but because it was not effective for kids, we made the decision to not offer it at all.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
The vaccine, the mist is a live weakened vaccine that's administered through the nose. And the actual flu shot is there's nothing live in it. It's a killed vaccine, and it's administered through a needle into the arm or
it-
leg in children.
Okay, I was going to say, is it
that's
always the
difference.
arm? That was my question. So in adults, it's always the arm, and in children, it's the leg?
In most cases, yes. We utilize the outer muscle of the leg for children, but that can also be used in an adult if it's needed. If it's needed, that area is needed to be utilized. We can use that in an adult. But for kids, we always use the outer part of the thigh.
I see.
This is great information.
Can I ask, what would,
Appreciate it.
in an adult, what would make it be needed? Is it just the fact that they're too tense or too nervous for the arm?
If they had a medical condition that may make the muscles in the arms unable to be used,
Oh, okay.
or if they're really thin and there's not a lot of muscle mass in the arms, we could always go to the legs.
Okay.
Because it's a bigger muscle in the outer thigh.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you know how many, on average, LaPorte County people get vaccinated every year? Do we know that?
There's really no way to track that, but I can tell you that we use about 500 doses of flu vaccine at the health department each season.
Really?
So there's really no way to track how many people get the flu vaccine. But we offer those to our employees, and we're at about 50%.
Okay. What happens if, have you guys ever ran out?
We have never really ran out per se, but back many years ago, there was a issue with the manufacturing of the vaccine, and we had to limit the individuals that got it to high-risk individuals.
Oh, okay.
But we've had no issues in the last 10 years with running out, no.
Oh, good.
I just had another text message. Can you please ask this professional, love this topic, how young? I have a 3-year-old. What would you recommend for a shot? And how long, basically how young would you say, like what age would
6
they?
months and older.
Oh, really?
Yes,
I didn't even realize that. Okay, good. Well, that's a great piece of information.
yes.
If someone is interested in getting the vaccine, but for some reason, I don't know, maybe they find it cheaper, whatever, at I'm going to say pharmacies. A lot of times you see, really any pharmacy you see signs that say,
Right.
Yes.
offering flu shots. Are those what I love about the health department, what you're saying is that it's the 4 strain, 2A, 2B included in that vaccine. Is that the case with these pharmacies as well?
I cannot speak for the pharmacies, but I'm not really sure on that. I can't speak for what they have. Probably if there's a question, to just call them and ask what type of vaccine they carry.
Okay.
If that's the concern, because obviously you want to be as protected as you can.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to suffer.
Right. Is
through
that
the
what you
poke.
guys are offering? Like the most protected?
Yes.
See, I'd go with the health department.
Me
I'm
too.
sorry.
That's what I think too.
I'm not going for 24/7.
If you're going to get the shot and possibly have any of
Yeah.
these symptoms, why wouldn't you want to make sure that you're arming yourself with the best possible?
No pun intended. Thank you.
Yeah, arming with your best possible, protection. I think for sure. So,
Right.
okay, what if someone actually does not get, they choose not to get a flu shot at all, and they
Okay.
start seeing symptoms? What's the first thing that they should do that can help themselves if it's already obviously that far advanced that they're seeing symptoms?
Well, hopefully, as soon as they get symptoms, they head to the doctor because they can be tested for the flu, and then antivirals can be started if appropriate.
Okay.
If they are within 48 hours of symptom onset and it's appropriate for them, they can be started on antivirals, which will shorten the course of the process, hopefully, and make the symptoms less severe.
Is that a shot as well?
No, it's pills.
Okay, I'm just curious.
Someone just
Yes.
asked, can you please find out? Obviously, we know October 11th. What times of the day is it during business hours? So
Business hours, our immunization clinics run from 8:15 to 3:30.
Do you allow walk-ins?
We do if we have open slots, but we prefer they make an appointment.
Please call first.
I was
right?
just going to say,
Appointments
call.
are
Please
needed,
call
so
first,
it's just
yeah.
much easier if they make an appointment.
Especially during such a busy season, I
Uh,
imagine.
It is. It's back to school. We don't have a lot of open slots, so I can't make any guarantees if
Right.
they just came in that
Do-
we'd be able to get them in.
Do you have local businesses that have you come in and do this for employees?
For local businesses, we do
Yeah.
not normally do that.
Okay.
We have helped out a couple local social services agencies in the past with their employees with flu vaccine, but we don't normally go out in the community. There are a lot of other agencies and pharmacies that actually do that.
Oh, they
So,
do. Okay. I just, you
So the
occasionally
service is
hear
there.
that. Yes, you occasionally hear that a lot of businesses offer that at work. That's how I was just curious if that was, I really was kind of baffled on how that happens, unless it's a medical facility. I don't know. Who's giving the shots,
Kevin
so.
just said, asked you, do you have weekend hours? He goes, I work all week. The only day I have open is Saturday, but I love her. So that he loves you. But do you have Saturdays open, or do you guys have weekends, or no?
We do not.
Okay.
We do not do weekends.
Okay.
Pharmacies do, though, so you may want
good.
to check with a pharmacy.
Would you mind to give us the number for the health department one more time?
Sure.
Please, Jen?
It is 219-326-6808, extension 2200 for LaPorte, and the same number with extension 7780 for Michigan City.
Okay. And
We have two offices, one in LaPorte, one in Michigan City.
That's great. That at least helps with convenience for sure. Can you tell us, if we have a listener interested in just reading more information about flu shots or any of these questions, what's the best website? Do you have
The
a
Centers
website?
for Disease Control, that's
Go for the
cdc.gov.
CDC. Okay.
You're awesome. We love having you guys
Thank you
on.
so
You're a breath
much,
of fresh
Jen.
air. We know you're swamped, and Younger Life Live just loves being on the air with you. So thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for having me this morning.
Have a great day. Thank you
Okay,
so
you
much.
too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. You know what?
isn't she awesome?
Well, she is. And I love it because you and I, at different times of the year, bond with these great folks.
I know.
The health department's got a lot of cool things.
They're-
You really see
They
it.
really are.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that they're, a lot of people associate them with shots or just records, but there's so much that they're always doing too that, it's cool. I love to, I sound so nerdy, but I like to get on the CDC website too.
There's nothing wrong with getting on because we're parentals
There's
and
lots
we are
of
dorks.
cool information and,
It's kind of like as we get older. Now, you're obviously a lot younger, but as we get older and you find yourself watching the Weather Channel.
Oh yeah, or
That's-
listening to like just news radio. I
Right.
love
Well,
that.
Hey, what?
I love that.
I'm all about the news radio.
Oh, you
style
play
live.
awesome music
Thank
too,
you. I
please.
appreciate you saying
I love that. I love the
It's
music
not a
you play
robotic
here.
type of every 20 minutes we give you.
That's it. I
it's
love
fun.
it.
It's
Absolutely.
local.
So
It's,
it certainly isn't
full
just
of
news
life.
radio, but I love to listen to news radio.
I was going to challenge you on the air, but I didn't want to put you up just
With
because I
what?
felt really
Shot?
bad. Yeah, let's get our shots on the air together.
Oh, youch.
I know. I'm not
I
being
sound
a
like
wuss.
such a baby.
I'm going to
I
throw
know.
this out there. If you are getting a shot anytime, any time of the day, whatever, they say, and this really does work because I used to tense up when I was a little
Oh,
boy.
never do that.
If you tense up, it hurts. If you just chillax,
Do you know what I do? It
then
sounds
just-
really
ah.
silly. I've taught my kids all this trick,
What?
except it doesn't work for my littlest ones
Which
because
one?
they still freak out. I pretend like that arm is dead. Like I literally
Yeah,
can't feel it or
limp
move
it.
it. Like
It's
I'll
limpy
flap
gimpy.
it down and then
Right,
I
right.
literally like act like I can't move it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can't move a finger because it's dead. I just ignore it and then it's over really fast.
well, I'm going to say to you that the nasal spray thing
I've done
would be
it.
a Ricky guy.
Have you ever done it?
I have not done the nasal.
I
I have
did
done
once.
one time in my life. One time I've got a shot, and it was last year. And it was because, honestly, I did it with LaPorte Hospital, who's our sponsor.
Oh yeah, certainly.
And I did it on the air live, and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to just see because it was for me for
Mm-hmm.
a variety of reasons. And I'm very. You hear that myth and you hear that information, Mary, where it's like, what are you putting into your body?
Yeah,
is
you
it
do.
live? Is it dead?
There's definitely a lot of
know what I mean?
misinformation too.
Right,
It's important,
right.
and especially with people. This is how I've always looked at it.
Mm-hmm.
The people in the healthcare, realm, or if you have someone that has a weakened immune system, to me, it's a must at that point. But for everyday people.
Again, I'm not saying either way, good or bad. You do what you want. You make your own decision. This is what the show is all about. We give you all sides.
Absolutely.
I just never felt that.
People, then I feel like it's if you're not working with someone on a regular basis or have a child or a spouse or anyone in the household that is compromised, then it's more or less your choice if you do it or don't. I mean, when you work in a hospital or you work in a any sort of medical facility, I feel like I can understand why some places really encourage, almost require that it be done, just due to
absolutely.
the fact that because you're coming in contact with sick people, they don't need your germs. You know what I mean?
Well,
in that case.
I'm going to throw this out there to you, and because we've chatted about this before. My daughter Devin,
Mm-hmm.
who's now in college, for several summers, and actually for through the summer, and actually for several years, as a young girl. Outside of doing, a lifeguard position and all kinds of stuff, she worked at an assisted living facility.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And this is you just hit something.
Yeah.
They required her and her colleagues, all the folks that work with her, to get multiple shots, a physical and all types of different shots
Yeah.
because of that exact thing. So
That's
I'm
it.
with you on that.
They aren't
You know
protecting
what I
the
mean?
employees. I
Right.
mean, they care clearly,
right.
but they are protecting the residents in that
course.
case, and the patients. So I can
Side
understand why
note.
it's important. I did do the mist one time, and I tend to have an easy gag reflex, and because you are taking it in through the nose,
Right.
you can feel a little drainage. And I
So,
said,
I don't like that feeling.
well, and I could taste it, and I said
Right.
I would rather, as much as I hate needles, I would rather take that because it's over really quick.
Yes.
Than having that lingering.
Well, that
taste. So I was
that
like, "Eesh."
feeling in your throat from a health
Yeah.
standpoint, no matter what you may have drainage from, a cold or just something,
Certainly.
or medicine,
Yeah.
that metallic-y stuff.
Yeah, gross.
in
Though
the
I was
back,
really
I don't
glad
like
Jenny
that
cleared
feeling.
up for us the. I had heard there was controversy on vaccine versus mist,
Right,
And
right.
so and that they were not recommending it. I didn't realize it was clear. It was only children they weren't recommending it. I just heard it's not being recommended. So I thought I was really curious and wanted her to clear that up as far as why. Is there something wrong? Do we need to be concerned?
Sure.
I knew that was a weakened virus, but not a dead virus. So I thought, we did it have to do with that? But this is why we talked to the health department.
I'm glad you
We
brought
need
that
them to
up,
clear
though,
that up for us.
Because I'm telling you, for years and years and years, and I still have thoughts.
Yeah.
Just about it.
Yeah.
And it was interesting though. I thought, I don't know how your feeling is on this, Mary. But when she said they went only through 500 doses, there are tens of thousands of people in just LaPorte County,
Yeah, I know.
let alone our surrounding Northwest Indiana, Chicago, Harbor Country, Southwest Michigan corridor, and all the people that stream us and watch us on YouTube. And you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it's like, are all these areas?
I was surprised that she said
know
they
what I mean?
only typically do about 500.
That's what I mean.
doses
That's
Also,
like
I was
nothing.
surprised by that.
It's like a school.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that.
Right. So I was, that surprised me a little bit too.
Someone had asked too.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to ask the question. They asked it after the fact about elderly, and is there a point when someone is of wiser years
Mm-hmm.
where they would not recommend a shot? For example, 75, 80, 85. And I'm not saying that's like older. Or anything.
Right.
All I'm just
No,
saying
certainly.
is that was the question.
If at some point they
Right.
say don't get it, I
Right.
wonder too. I would imagine they would always encourage it because, like Jenny said, I was shocked that there's no actual data on how many people die due to flu-related illness.
Right.
But I also understand why it doesn't, because it isn't the flu always. It typically is like, flu will set in and that, you get congested and stuff, and someone could get pneumonia from that, and then that's what their cause of death would be,
Sure.
would be pneumonia. So I understand that, and I think especially very, very young and elderly are extremely susceptible to that, or someone with a weakened immune system for any reason. So I think that they would probably always recommend a flu vaccine regardless of age, just to be sure. Pneumonia sets in very quickly.
One of the things I want
cans and
to
very
throw out there, you and I have witnessed this, and I'm very anal about this here on the Younger Life Live Radio TV soiree. We are surrounded by massive amounts of people every day, guests in studio, on the phone, our coworkers, our colleagues, producers, tech people, massive. So all these events we're at. But I am constantly spraying down this
Yeah.
place and wiping off wind socks, which
yeah.
if you're viewing us, I'm pointing to it. Things that we talk into, apparatuses we may touch. So I'm using, I'll just say different related sprays. I'm going to say it. Lysol
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
And
the
all the
wipes.
wipe ones. Yeah, the Clorox wipes.
And I think that, do you agree as a parent, but just as someone that's involved with the community and all over the place as well, wiping down? I literally this morning, Nick and I, who's on before me on the radio
Yeah.
side of this apparatus on WIMS, we wipe down the boards. We wipe down everybody's telephone, the handsets. We're constantly wiping down stuff. Do you do that a lot? In this time?
I do,
Yeah.
especially this time of year.
Yeah.
Well, for us, always, I've said this for years, it isn't really a flu-related thing, but it is a germ-related
Yes,
thing. Back to
yes.
school time we're really not germaphobes by, really at our house, except back to school time, you always notice that there's always a flare up of, maybe runny noses,
Sure.
maybe a little bit of a cough. And we're talking, it's still, it's August. It's still summer-ish, most of the time it's still really hot, honestly.
Yes.
And so it really isn't necessarily flu or really viral. But what I think happens is the kids go back to school and they have all those kids are back together. All those germs are back together. So as soon as we start going back, I always notice it in the kids, and we always try extra hard to at least wipe down or spray down.
How about the hand sanitizers and stuff? Do you guys believe in that?
We do to a point. I'm more old fashioned about, wash your hands good with soap
I'm
and water.
so with you.
And, scrub them
with
good
you.
with soap and water, and that's fine. But as far as doorknobs and light switches and
Yes.
remotes, stuff like that, not just always the counters and stuff, but the stuff that their little grubby hands are going to constantly be touching and sharing with each other. And, that's what we try to make sure we're wiping down a lot. Flu too, I've always been a little more lax about the flu. I feel like we're going to get it. And as long as we're all healthy and are able to
Yes.
fight it off, I don't worry too much about it. Now, a few of my babies have been preemie, so that's a little different. Like when we know that they're compromised a little bit, we all need to make sure we be careful and take extra steps to make sure we don't pass it. So then everybody needs it. One of my daughters was really prone to pneumonia as a very young child due to allergies. It was causing asthma.
Sure.
Because of that, we would get, all of us were vaccinated just to try to give her a little extra protection through the season.
Absolutely.
So I feel like it definitely is something to look into. I think there are a lot of myths and people get so worried or think it's nonsense. But I mean, it certainly is, it saves lives, especially if you're in a situation where your germs may affect someone else's life. It's important to think of that and
I agree.
See where you are. So the CDC website is fantastic. Center for Disease
Get ready
Control.
for the spring because you and I are going out in boats, I think.
Oh, that would be great.
I think we're going to talk about that. I think we should go out in lakes. I think we should do all kinds of fun stuff.
What would be fun with the health department? Yeah,
What?
to test the water.
Yes.
To go with them to test the water.
So agree.
It's
That'd be
really
so
neat.
much fun. Well, that's really cool. So I want to throw this out there. Mary Anthony and Rick Federici, weekdays 9 to 10 on the Central Time Zone front, youtube.com. Thanks to the LaPorte Hospital. A reminder again from your family and friends here with Mary and Rick at Younger Life that with the hospital, they've got a lot of cool programs and things that are going on. But next Friday, we were talking about as a part of First Friday, let's talk about the chapel, the jam with the LaPorte High School choral group, which will be good.
It's always First Friday. It's beautiful. It's a nice setting, and it's free. You get to go listen to music and just enjoy yourself, and it's nice. They do such a good job of that, and there's been so much positive reception from that program in general. So
Cafe 1007 while you're at the hospital.
Yum. There you go.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, you and I
haven't been there in a while.
We have to bring our guy, Sanders, our executive
it's not
producer,
bad. I know
maybe invite a little Mary Gelati with and some, we should invite some viewers and some listeners with
That would
and
be
take
fun.
them out for lunch and kind of sample some delights, which I think would be great.
That would be fun. And, they're always so great to work with. If we told them we were coming, I guarantee they would set us up. So, I think that would be great. Something I wanted to point out about flu shots, and I forgot to ask Jenny. I wanted to clarify this. I've heard that if you have an egg allergy, that you may not be able to get a flu shot.
Oh, that's a great question.
So,
I did not know that.
I didn't either. And I heard that. And so I meant to ask her that, and I forgot. Sorry, Jenny. But
well, no, it's a great
it does.
question.
So I just looked it up just to see.
And what did it
just
say?
to kind of clarify, because of course, we're recommending you look into it if you're interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're saying.
Doctor, of
Talk
course,
to your doctor about
always.
it. And a lot of times too, flu shots, your doctor's office can give them to you. I mean, you don't have to always go to a clinic. You can get it done at your doctor's.
Your choice.
But if you do have an egg allergy, it said that there could be additional risks involved. So definitely talk to your doctor about that before, or if you are going to the health department, discuss it with the nurses, because they will tell you then whether or not it's appropriate. It says that some people that are allergic to eggs just get hives, and then it's probably okay. People have other symptoms, and if they do, they probably should not, and they would tell them that. So again, discuss that with your doctor, because that can lead to respiratory distress and stuff. And I had heard that and thought that was crazy, because I had never in my life heard that. Even, it's funny, even when I've had flu vaccines, I've never heard that. I'm sure it's in the pamphlets and stuff that you get, but I just had not heard
All
that.
right.
So
I'm just going to let you know, 3 people back to back, instant texts. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Carl. And good morning, Engineer B, who's listening on the live stream. If you guys do a show at Cafe 1007, each one of them, I want an invite. Can I go? Would love to try their food. Listen, you could go there every day. Cafe 1007 is inside of the LaPorte Hospital.
Right.
It's downstairs. And I got to be honest with you, it's a cool setting.
It's very good.
It's a business, fun-loving, very affordable, because we've been there.
Lots of options.
I've been there many times outside of just this show.
yeah, and
Love it.
you don't have to have hospital business to go, which I think which I think is what people a lot of times think of. Of
Associate,
course, you
yes.
think, if you're at the hospital for either for any
Right,
reason at
right.
all, you're
Visiting,
yourself, somebody else,
meeting,
whatever.
right.
You think that's when you would go, but really, it's open all the time.
Yes,
and,
it is.
and they have great options. So I definitely say that would be really fun. That would be a fun time.
I would love to know, just curious, I was thinking about this the other day, knowing that my daughters are a little older now and they're out of the sports thing in terms of sports on this time of the year. Do your children do sports now as we edge up fall,
Oh,
winter?
always. I think
Yeah,
our kids are
figured
sports
you're
all
the
year
sports mom. So what
We're
are they
never
jumping
out.
into now? Is it basketball for them?
Well, basketball is getting ready to start. Yep.
Cool.
We're finishing up what they call one of my daughters. Basketball's her favorite. She's finishing up a fall ball thing right now, and then
Awesome.
getting ready to start real ball in October. And one of my other daughters is doing volleyball right now.
Awesome. I love volleyball.
Yep. So I mean,
I love basketball.
it's something. I mean, there's something every day
I'm
for
more of
someone.
a watcher, Mary, sometimes with these because are you
Oh, I
and or
stink.
your husband Jeremy
But
athletic?
I
in
mean,
terms
we
of
both love to
decent?
play stuff, and we can hold our own to a point. They're all way better than I am.
Of course.
There just is no.
That's a given.
They're good,
But
it-
they came from you too, so you know
yeah,
what I mean?
but they're really good. They're all better than I am, and they know it.
It's got to make you smile, though.
Oh, it
But
does.
beware, young ones out there, and any kids listening, and grandkids. When you get us in a situation where we're going for it, we're gonna kick some butt.
It's really cute.
A
I
run for
watched.
the money,
That's it.
you know?
That's it. I'm gonna still do my best.
Right.
I was watching a little clip of a show the other day discussing if it was beneficial to allow your kids to win or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, if it is beneficial, I failed miserably because I'm not going to let my
No.
kid win. I'm not going to necessarily bury them, but
Agree.
everyone needs to learn how to win and how to lose.
Agree.
I think it is.
Very good
I
point.
can't stand poor sportsmanship on any level. So you know what? It's funny. Even I love to play checkers with my boys, my 4 and 6-year-old. My 4-year-old stinks at it. He's still getting the concept, but we still play and he learns. My 6-year-old he's really gotten good, and we love it. And after every
He's
game,
whooping
you
mama's
shake
butt.
hands and say, "Good game." That's what you do. You do that regardless. And no, they call me the master of checkers still. But
Really?
now you know what? That's
Can I
what
ask
the
you a
boys
question?
call me. Let
Are
me
you-
say.
Are you a chess gal too?
You know
I
what?
don't-
My
I've never
6-year-old,
tried
I've
it.
never tried chess
Me
in my
either.
whole life, and my 6-year-old never.
Come on over here.
My 6-year-old's very intrigued by chess, so I said, "Let's learn together." I don't know how to play.
Understand.
So
our
we love to
executive
play
producer.
games, and but
Jump in
again,
the
everybody
studio.
needs to. I'm all about. I'm never gonna just allow someone to
Right.
beat me.
We're all gonna have to learn to play chess together then.
You don't know
Okay.
either.
Oh no, I played in high school. With,
Oh,
Did you really?
Yes, I was football, wrestling, tennis, and
And chess.
secretly chess. Yes.
That's
Wait,
awesome.
there's no secret to that. That's a
No, at the
manly thing.
time it was secretly. Now
Yeah.
I take great pride in it.
Yeah.
But when I
course.
was a
But
kid, I was
then
like,
it was-
I was,
Well,
I
there's
was
that.
metalhead.
There's that new movie that's out.
I know it looks.
That has to
it
do
looks
with chess
fantastic.
and like an international. I would love to see
Well,
that. I don't know
you
if you
know,
saw
I
a
haven't
trailer
seen
on
this,
that.
no.
You're a TV guy.
I
You know,
am a
it's
TV
actually
guy.
that-
I
I
haven't seen
think
this.
I believe that's based on
It is a
by
true
actual
story.
facts.
Yeah.
It's like
And-
Prison Rules chess with elbows. Or
No, it's actually a young girl, and she's
Right.
changing her life situation and her family situation. And then
Wait, I did
Yes,
see
yes,
that
that's
one.
what I'm
See,
saying,
and
yeah.
they're
I did see that
saying,
commercial.
girls,
A very
girls
unique
don't
part of the
play,
world.
whatever.
Yes.
It looks very,
I would
very
love
moving.
to see that because they kind of razzed her. Well, the trailers show that they kind of razzed her,
Yeah.
and then she kept moving up the ladder, and then she became whatever. I love those kind of movies.
I do too.
The feel goods,
Yeah.
where there's a good ending.
Yeah, I don't, but I
What?
get it. I don't like feel good endings, man. I'm
Oh.
like, no, because I go back to real life and I'm like, this place sucks.
No, I
Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
now,
sir.
your wife and your son's daughter, of course. Do you all, if you don't mind me asking, redo the flu shots or no?
No, we don't.
See, and I would love to take a stat poll,
A poll,
even of
right.
just folks, and then say, A, do you do it? And then again, it's everybody's own prerogative. Thank you, Bobby. But thinking about and why they don't do it, and the other spin to that.
Well, there's a lot of different reasons
Yes.
that we have.
Yeah.
But typically, knock on wood, we're not a sick family. We don't
Right.
really get sick often. When we do, it hits us hard, but we just don't get
recover.
sick. Yeah, we recover
We
fast.
deal
and we're
with
good.
it.
We kind of deal with it, and it's we eat a lot of. I think the cabbage helps. I mean,
Yeah.
cabbage keeps our sickness low.
Yeah.
So, and
well, I
vinegar.
do think. I mean, obviously, we always know nutrition plays a factor, but that's how I feel about if someone is compromised, or if
Mm-hmm.
you're around someone that's health is compromised, that's different. But otherwise, I feel like it's a little more than of not so mandatory, I feel.
Yeah.
Too.
If you feel that it makes you feel better and it works for
Or-
you, then go ahead and do it. Or
Yeah.
you feel that you constantly get hit by the flu every
That's it.
year. My goodness, do something to help yourself. But if you're not really sickly, then there's really no point.
You guys want to hear this? You were talking about cabbage. Someone just said, I heard on your radio station, Joe L., who's listening in Northwest Indiana today, but on the stream right now, said they heard Gordon Deal on our radio partner, WIMS, which is our radio station that streams this as well, talk about super beets, like the actual BETS.
Yeah.
And it's
a
great
superfood?
effects as a superfood and for keeping you healthy. Can you
That
guys
would be
talk about
interesting.
that? And I don't know.
How
anything
about-
I've heard it too.
Did you say Joe?
Joel?
Joelle? How
Yes.
about Joelle? We do a show on beets because I don't know anything about it either, but
Do you
I
know
could.
anything? You're a health
we
dude.
eat a lot of. My mother-in-law cooks a lot of beets.
Really?
What does it taste like?
Earth.
It seems to me they're radishy.
It's very earth. It tastes like dirt, but but not bad dirt. Like
Right, no.
say like dirt. What am I, New
Yo,
York?
dirt.
Yeah, but it's good. It's just earthy tasting.
Super beets. If someone told me that there was something out there, and again, maybe we could look this up, but I honestly would love to do a show.
On superfoods in
On
general,
superfoods,
beets,
yeah.
blueberries.
Oh, I
there's a
love
whole
blueberries.
handful of superfoods. I'm trying to remember if cabbage is one of them or not. I didn't realize beets was
Cabbage
on the
is
list.
a superfood.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's the Roman army. See, this is what I tell my kids, and they look at me like I'm a wooden head. They're like,
But you're a military man.
Yeah, the
God
Roman
bless the
army
military.
used
Woo!
to instead of carrying water in their canteens, would keep cabbage juice and vinegar because it kept their
You.
yeah, but it kept them virile. It kept them clean on the
Yeah.
inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
It
wait.
reduced- It
When you
reduced
say
the
clean,
sickness.
it means like flushing you out?
Most of your
Toxins.
toxins and disease start inside of the gut. This is a true statement. So
Yes.
I
if
would
you
like
keep
to
it
do that.
There you are.
What's that whole little procedure too, where they say that they could clean you out?
I've heard
but-
these commercials.
Yes, where they could clean you out and basically, I'm going to be honest here, and if you got someone listening or if you got a weird stomach, turn us off. But and of course, it says no reflection on the hospital, Gerard Media, Younger
We're
Life
just
Live,
talking.
or LaPorte
We're just
Hospital, right?
talking.
But like the ones that kind of flush out your
From
Yeah.
the upside down.
yes,
Yes, I
don't know.
That's
I've heard
another
it's not
one.
a good thing.
not a good thing.
I've heard it's
Maybe
not a
we
good
could
thing.
get back on one of the GI doctors that we've spoke to
I thought you were
before.
going to say maybe we could have Rick do it.
Oh, go ahead, Rick. We'll let you be the guinea pig
Yeah,
for that one. You can tell us all
Mary, you
about
hold
it.
the
But I'm
lights, I'll
just-
hold the camera.
No, but you know what?
And we'll
In
laugh and
November,
laugh
in November, I'm going to be 50. So my doctor did
November
say
what?
10th.
How exciting.
Scorpio.
Yeah, see.
I'm a lover. Not a fada.
Open one of those buttons there on the top. There we go.
You'll see my beautiful cross.
Scorpio,
Thank you,
baby.
Lord. Yes, I am. There's no hair there. I'm the guy with 3 hairs. It's like you shave it. It's like there's nothing there. My wife goes, "Oh, you're such a stud." It's kind of like being a builder's dream, flat as a board. The chest and everything.
Disco
All right,
stew.
back
Anyway, back
to
to
that. Here we go.
focus. Sorry, it's me. I did this.
But no, I wouldn't mind do. Well, I got to do. I think this year a colonoscopy.
50, yeah.
So at 50, and I think that would be very smart, and then kind of talk about that. At one point, I was asked by the LaPorte Hospital crew if I would do one either live on the air or whatever. I think having that be something that we could note and talk about the procedure and what has transpired. I would definitely like my wife to be there with me because I understand you're under, and I don't want to say or do crazy things. But I think the education of that would be awesome and helpful.
It
Don't you
is.
guys
The
think?
No,
example.
you've never before. That would be your first.
Right. This will be my first.
I've had one before.
You did?
Yes.
Yes.
So and I
On tape?
not on tape, but I do flirt with the doctor right before it
course
happens.
you do.
And then when you wake up, you don't remember what happens. They give you a knockout thing, and
Yeah.
you forget everything.
Conscious sedation, you don't remember
Yeah, you
anything
just
then.
are like, well, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So, and
So,
you're-
someone just said, "Hey, are you guys talking about a colonic or an enema?"
Colonic.
Neither.
Colonic.
A colonic, yes,
Neither
it
one
is.
sounds appetizing. Mm.
No, it does not.
no, it's not.
Well,
it does not.
I'm not going to say that the person's name was allegedly Miss Jackson, if you please, but supposedly some of the Hollywood stars and musicians were swearing by procedures
Yeah.
that were cleaning out their system. Like if you look at, they said, hypothetically, allegedly, but some of the stars, like superstars, like Elvis that died, they said that he had so much matter in his body that
Yeah.
when he died, in that time, you figure the 70s, that it was like 20 pounds. John Wayne,
Yeah.
the same thing, So I'm wondering
I-
if there's a procedure that
I
will
would
just
say
flush.
ask your doctor
You have to
about
ask the
those
doctor.
things.
Yeah.
I
Ask
would
your
do
doctor
that.
about those things. And your doctor, most
do all.
doctors are especially if you have a good relationship with your doctor,
Yeah.
tell them, I heard this. What do you think? They're going to give you an honest opinion.
No,
you
I'm
know what I
with
mean?
you.
And they're going to let you know. And, you know, I definitely would not try some of these things. No, that's
Don't
way
order your
too.
colonic kit from Amazon.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Don't
no.
do it at home by yourself.
You know, I mean,
know.
there are people that do those things, and I think you could be really hurting your body.
No, I
you
would
have no
never do
idea
without
what you're
the
doing.
Well,
direction
because there's
You know.
bacteria. I mean, I'm just going. I'm not obviously not a doctor, but there's bacteria inside.
Right, I
that
don't
you
want it to go
need. This
back
is-
up.
this
That's-
is
there's
good bacteria.
healthy-
And if you
that's
flush
it.
that out, then
Yeah.
then you leave
You
that
need
area
to speak to-
sterile. That's sterile. That
Yeah.
can't be good.
I think some
You-
people are utilizing it hypothetically for, you know, losing weight or
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. You know,
losing
the
the extra
internet is
poundage.
amazing. I can't really. It's like, what did we ever do without the internet? But there are downsides too, because
Wait.
people look these things up and they think, oh, I'm
It's
going to try
real.
this,
Yes.
or I'm going to order this and just try it on my own.
Or
Oh, please,
people that
people,
are
talk to your
crazy that order
talk to your physician.
medicines off
Yes.
the internet. I
Yeah.
would
You never know
do
what you're
that.
getting. It's not
Never.
safe. Talk to your doctor. That's the one thing old fashioned wise that we need to keep is have a
Mom?
conversation with your doctor.
Why do I have 3 arms? You know, and there's nothing wrong by
It's
the
the
way. if you have
medicine that we-
multiple arms.
Yeah.
There is
Listen
nothing
to
wrong
you.
with it.
To each his
There is-
own.
yeah.
Anyways.
For the record.
I love everything.
But speak to your doctor. The point is speak to your doctor. Whether it's about these flu shots and you have real concerns or you need to know, it's okay if you feel like, you know, like Mike, you say, we feel like we don't need that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But if you do have a question or a concern about it, ask your doctor.
That's all you can do,
They can
yeah.
talk you through it. Or if it is these myths that are kind of stopping you from doing it, ask them. They can
And
help
really,
you.
and I have to
Pick
add
through
this
that.
too. Do go see your doctor. Ask your doctor. And if you're not comfortable with that doctor,
Find a
find
new
another
doctor.
doctor.
That's
But
it.
don't just go online and look up your symptoms and because they're gonna. It's just I don't wanna-
Inevitably, it's death. Let
It's
me tell
always
you.
death,
We've
no matter
all
what-
done
yeah,
that.
It's like you stub your toe.
You
You
all
look
have
up online.
it's cancer and you're dead.
It's cancer of the toe.
You have
I
2
wanna-
weeks left to live.
was
Throw
a
this
bed.
out there
It was
real
a-
quick.
Please.
Tim D, listening in Valparaiso, Indiana, said, doctor just recommended, I'm 55 years old, taking a fish oil pill, but I notice I've been gassy. Has any of your listeners or viewers witnessed this or functioned with this as well?
I've heard that from an aunt of mine, personally, one of my own aunts.
And you
I
get
was
the fish
told that
burps,
too.
too.
Fish burps, but I mean, I think they're talking
Just gas
gas
all the way around.
Like
My
as in
aunt swore.
puffs.
Now, let me just
Well, I mean, I'm
suggest
just being
again,
honest.
Yeah,
talk
you
to your
gotta-
doctor. But my aunt found much better, fewer side effects
Yes.
when she went to krill, which
What's
is
that?
fish oils also, but they're smaller. There's no fishy taste, according to my aunt.
Okay.
And again, not a doctor, but she is just my
Can you write
aunt.
some of this stuff down there? Executive
she-
producer of the People.
and
Let's do something on fish oils.
We actually did talk to our
I
pharmacist
know
once
that.
on it, but it'd be good to do it again because it's
Yeah.
been months and
Krill.
months.
That's probably
Krill,
what I
and they're
heard, yeah.
much smaller pills, no fishy taste
Mm-hmm.
or aftertaste, and it reduced. She did not find herself as gassy all the way
Can I
around.
tell you what I can go for right now? Some really good grilled vegetables and a piece of salmon right now. Wouldn't that sound good?
That sounds
Some
pretty
fish?
good. Yeah.
All right. I
There's
want to.
cabbage at home though. I'm eating cabbage.
I'm all about
I got
it.
cabbages waiting for me at home.
Super
He has it in his
Can't wait.
thermos, right? Are
In
you
real
bringing a
life.
thermos
Hey,
every day
hey,
of cabbage
it
water?
has been when I had my colonoscopy a few years back, and you know, and I'm 42. you
Wow.
know, because I had really severe intestinal issues. Then I changed my diet, started incorporating more vegetables, cooked vegetables,
Sure.
just asparagus, things
Yeah.
like that, and vinegar into my diet. And it's not a witch doctor type of thing. It's more of a I just changed it out. And
Nutrition.
I am so. I mean, I don't take medication. I'm better. And
Good.
I
That's
attribute
good.
that.
It's interesting.
Yeah, that's my younger life story.
I love all of the
1
input
minute.
from our listeners, though, and I definitely think we should talk about, maybe get another pharmacist back on
Yeah.
or a GI doctor
Let's
and
do
talk
that.
about some of these things
like
and,
that. I would like
and
that.
find out. Even on the flip side of that, let's get another chef in and talk about some of these
yeah, let's get a
nutritional.
chef in here.
Yeah, look
Yeah.
at them. Hey, by the
yeah,
way,
let's do
I want to
that.
throw this out there.
Superfoods and ways we can cook with them. So.
Got a few seconds left, and on a serious note, thanks for all the prayers and messages for my niece, Tawny, who went through a double mastectomy this past week. What I want to throw out there, tomorrow is October 1st, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've got some great shows lined
Yeah,
up.
we're trying to get-
specifically about stuff, mammograms and stuff like that. Ladies and guys, please get yourselves checked. But more importantly, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Get out there and make a difference. Try to help out, you know what I'm saying? And go from there. So on behalf of us all at Younger Life, thank you, Sanders. I'm Rick Federici.
I'm Mary Anthony. Thanks.
All right, AM 1420 WMS. Thanks for listening to another great edition. Rewind here on AM 1420, brought to you, of course, by our good friends at the LaPorte Hospital.
Hey guys, watch my new bike trick. Whoa!
Accidents happen. When they do, LaPorte Hospital can help you get on the road to recovery faster. With our 30 minutes or less ER service pledge, We will work to have you initially seen by a medical professional in 30 minutes or less. Less waiting, faster care. The 30 minutes or less ER service pledge at LaPorte Hospital.
AM 1420, WIMS, Michigan City, a Girard Media Company station.
Coming up a little bit later on today, Dave Ramsey, Alex Bassett, Rick Fodoricki in studio. Little rain outside. Keep it set to AM 1420 WIMS Michigan City, a Girard Media Company, streaming live at WIMSradio.com. Morning.
CBS News. I'm Steve Kaith, and thousands of California National Guard members told to repay enlistment bonuses by the Pentagon. The story